on, what's happening? Welcome. It is Thursday night Pint here on YouTube. We are live. Settle in, get your feet up, get a bevy. Probably do that before settling in and putting your feet up, unless you've got, a fridge right next to it or whatever. No idea where I'm going with this, but let's crack on. We've got some fantastic guests. We've got two Olympians joining us in the studio to discuss Jurgen Klopp's 250 wins as Liverpool manager. And we're going to be trying to build a top 5 from that. We're going to be rating your awesome, die on the hill, weird, incredible football takes and conspiracy theories. And then we're going to be looking ahead to Newcastle United at the weekend. A big 6-pointer in Liverpool's quest to get back on track and get into the top 4 once again. But first, let's look back on the week in Liverpool. Things kicked off ahead of the Merseyside derby at the AXA Training A&E Centre with the news that Thiago Alcantara will be ruled out for up to a month with a hip flexor groin something or other. It doesn't matter, he's injured. We're all sadder for it, but he will be out for a few weeks, including the Champions League games against Real Madrid. Devastating. We move things on to better injury news with the first long-anticipated resighting of Diogo Jota, Roberto Firmino and Virgil van Dijk, not just back in training, but back in the matchday squad for the game as well, which also saw Bobby Firmino and Diogo take to the pitch. Huge cheer resounding around Anfield for Diogo, getting his name sung again. Very, very positive stuff indeed. And keeping in the vein of positivity, the youngster described by Mohamed Salah as the best player in the team since he's come into the team, received a man of the match for his performance in the derby. Stefan Bajcetic, who bears more than a passing resemblance to Dave Franco. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, just me. Has really, really hit the ground running with his Liverpool career so far, playing in Thiago's role, playing on the left side of a midfield three for the first time in his career, and absolutely bossing it against Everton's midfield. Wonderful stuff. Duly received a standing ovation when he left the pitch. Great, great, great. Some slightly concerning news that came out of the derby. Real deep and injury fears for Andy Robertson, with rumours abiding that he might be out for up to a month after splitting his sides laughing at Jordan Pickford. Shocking, I know, absolutely shocking, but you know what? Sometimes people just need to be laughed at. It's an involuntary action, particularly when it comes to a goalkeeper with such small arms, and we all wish Andy Robertson a quick and speedy recovery from that horrible, horrible laugh-induced injury. In more sombre and more important news, this week also saw finally the publishing of the Independent report into the shambles that was the Paris Champions League final. The Independent report finally and truly exonerated Liverpool fans of all wrongdoing, praised their role in, once again, making sure that there was no loss of life, and put the blame squarely on the shoulders of UEFA, which is where it truly belongs. As anyone who was at the game, or anyone around the game will know, having experienced it. UEFA have been issued a number of recommendations for things that are put into place, and Liverpool have taken a very strong stance on this as well, which is to be commended, particularly when there are obviously bigger things going on around Liverpool Football Club. There are no bigger things than how the fans are being treated when they go to football games, and what we should all be pressing for is to go to a world where football fans are not treated as animals when they go to games, where you should feel safe and secure when you go to watch your beloved football team play, whether it's in a Champions League final, whether it's going to a ground that's just round the corner from you. UEFA are a disgrace, and they need to get the house in order, and they need to get it in house in order very, very quickly indeed. Anyway, that was the week in Liverpool. Let's conduct ourselves towards the action, towards the laughs, towards the bevies. Let me introduce my guests for tonight's Thursday Night Pint, starting first and foremost with Mr. Chris Pajak.
You went right in the middle of a conversation. You interrupted.
Was it an interesting conversation?
It was a very interesting conversation, much more interesting than this.
What, our conversation here?
Yeah, right now, yeah.
Oh, well, that's fair. That's not a high bar. This isn't one of our... It's better than the conversation we had.
We've had some all-timers.
Yeah.
And some all-time bad
We were
conversations.
discussing whether a building had slightly changed on the drive to lunch yesterday. Yeah. Top quality convo.
How are you, Paul?
I'm great.
How did your intro go?
I don't know.
I mean, you must have watched yourself.
Well, yeah.
How do you think you look doing it?
Like me doing it.
Great, then.
Your words, not mine, Chris. Right, speaking of someone who always looks great on Redmen TV content, let's bring in our queen of match days herself, Miss Chloe Bloxham. Come on, Chris.
Sorry, yeah.
Awkward clapping.
It's weird you clap when the mic's right in front of your face. It's like, that's
we
what I
go.
went for.
Well done indeed. How are you?
Good. Decent.
From resplendent in your Cody Gakpo hoodie.
Obviously.
Where'd you get that from?
Redmanmerch.com. Go and get one.
Yes, Chloe.
Class.
Brilliant stuff. Thursday night Pint debut. Excited?
Yeah, I've got me Red Bull. If Red Bull could sponsor me
Just
or
personally.
this, I mean, I'd rather them sponsor me personally because it's me. But if you could sponsor Redmen also,
Could you decant that, please? Because they don't sponsor us.
oh
Jesus Christ, Chloe.
no, but I want
no
them to
one knows
sponsor
these are
us.
walkers.
Right, so let's introduce the first of our Olympian guests. We've got two Scousers on the show. We've got a
Hang on a
jam-packed show
minute.
of Scousers.
Okay, good.
Additional.
Two more.
And more Scousers,
Oh, there you go.
yeah, absolutely. Let us welcome to the studio, Antony the Machine Fowler! Oh, yes!
There we go.
It's so awkward, isn't it?
I mean, this man, walking's been part of his profession.
Oh no.
What type of walk-on music do you normally have?
You know what, I like dance music, to like get me into a bit of a beat, like a bit of like motivational music. Not too cheesy, like rocky music, but just like a little dance tune.
Have you got a go-to?
You know what, I had a few, but when you lose a fight, you think, you know what, swerve that now, it's bad memories, and you go back to another one. But I normally just go for what I like at the time. You know, in the car, and a song goes on the radio, and you think, I love this tune.
Yeah.
So that'll do.
So what, you listening to in the gym, I suppose, as well?
Yeah. But before I fight, though, I listen to it like every week to like visualise the fight and the ring walk and stuff. I think visualisation is very important in fighting.
That's what I was doing wrong. I was visualising myself getting beat.
You tend
And I got
to
beat.
and you tend to walk out to Taylor Swift when we do our
I
live
do
shows.
also like to do that. I'm Barbie girl.
Right, so let's introduce the second of our incredible guests. I had a little confusion of this, which we will straighten out, because when I was told that Bianca Cook was joining us, I wasn't sure who that was. But of course, more recently known as Bianca Cook, but of course, Olympic Taekwondo star, Bianca walked into some people. But yes, Bianca Cook joins us on the show. Bianca! Hi.
Hi.
Welcome. Yes. To clear things
Thanks
up,
for having me.
married in October.
Yeah,
So-
September.
September. So now no longer Bianca Wharton, Bianca Cook.
Yes, I've got a new name now. But to be
Unlucky for
fair,
half of the population.
I know.
Unlucky. Sorry guys, thoughts are with you.
I'm taken.
Absolutely fantastic. How are we doing?
I'm good, yeah, I'm good. Training and that. So I thought I'd come down and speak to yourself.
Come down here and drink some water, but eat some crisps.
Yeah, I'm a heavyweight, so listen, I'll destroy that bowl. So it's good. It's good.
Not the front one.
They're a bit spicy though. I had one of them, and they're like, look, they've got 3 fire flames on there, so that's a bit off for me. But I'll take the chicken.
Go on, Chris. What do you want to? You
Got
brought the
jalapeno
snackers.
and cheese.
I mean, did you say
Max
strong?
Strong. They are really good. Like,
Yeah.
Too much work, too much.
And then roast chicken and thyme, maybe?
You've got
Sensations?
roast chicken and thyme, and the Tiddles Tyrell.
Classy people, seasoning and everything.
Yeah,
It's good.
absolutely. Not we're going beyond ready salt today.
They
aren't
win
we, Chris?
absolutely not the crisps that run off in the co-op brand.
3 for 1. The days and chicken.
No chance.
Right, so thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We've got plenty to talk through. We discovered this week, I mean, I didn't do the research on this. This is the beauty of having social media. And someone told us that Jurgen Klopp, winning the Merseyside derby, was his 250th win as Liverpool manager. He's done it in 414 games, which is 34 faster than Bob Paisley, 58 quicker than Shankly. And it posed the question, what is Jurgen's biggest / most important / most meaningful, etc. win? We'll go around everyone. If you're watching at home, you can get yours in the live show chat. and then we're going to try and somehow make a top 5. But we'll start, Chloe. We haven't had any conversation around this at all. I've got no idea what you're going for.
I'm scared she's going to pick my one.
I'm stuck between 2 because one was it kind of set the pace. So Middlesbrough to get us into top 4 for the first time, that was the realisation of, right, well, this is the beginning of something for us and Jurgen Klopp. It was at that moment that I realised, you know, we'd got to a Europa League or final against, I think it was Sevilla the year before, whatever. That was a Europa League. Now we're in the Champions League. Now's the biggest time we can become European giants again. But on the flip side of that, winning against Tottenham made us European giants once again. So that is why I'm stuck between 2.
Go for the first.
I will, because
you're
the
the one.
We hear when we talk
Please.
this through.
He's like begging you. No, the boss is mine, don't you dare.
You hear that? He said, I'll just rob Barca.
I have no choice.
You best come to me after close.
Girls first.
I like the Middlesbrough shout.
Yeah, I'll go Middlesbrough then. Just
Because
because...
it fits in with the rest
Yeah,
of the show.
because it fits in with the rest of the show.
Yeah.
But also because I feel like that set the tone of us wrecking a storm up and saying we're here and we're going to be here for years.
We did a live show that night, and it was like, it was a party vibe, and obviously that might have been your first airing of your Taylor Swift walkout, to be honest, when we needed to throw out the beer keller on our own live show because you ran across the tables.
Apparently you're not allowed to run across the tables.
The security
You're
guard-
very much not allowed to dance across the tables when you're 17.
He was holding the security guard back, and he was going, he can't do that, he can't do it. I'm like, mate, it's our live show. If you can't come out, someone else to talk to.
He doesn't like a bit of tay-tay.
I know, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But we were more exhausted than anything else. Like, it wasn't like a big high mo. You don't get to go. You don't get to celebrate beating Middlesbrough. But you're right, as far as the importance goes, I think that's a good shout. Chris, what are you going for?
I am going for one of my favourite ever Liverpool wins, and that's when we beat Dortmund 4-3 at Anfield. Talking about setting the tone.
Okay.
What?
Thought you were going to go for Spurs.
Who went? Have you gone Spurs? Okay. I understand it. You said you were going to go for it. That's why I was so confused. Did he not?
Never, no, I didn't say so, and he backed me up.
He helped him.
Then, yeah.
So anyway,
Anyway, Chris, what's yours?
I'm going to go for Dortmund when we beat them 4-3, because I think that set the tone and ultimately gave us the belief to be able to come back in other games that were later on and stuff like that. And that was it, wasn't it? Like, I mean, they were a good side. It was Klopp's former side as well, which has a big thing, doesn't it? And then it's like, we'd obviously fallen in love with Jurgen for what he was able to do. But when he comes up against the side that he used to manage, that he'd been at for 7 years, there is a little bit like, oh, do you still love them, mate?
Them, yeah.
And then we snotted them. And then all of a sudden you're like, he's ours.
There was that terrifying moment where they start really well, and you're like, we fucked this, haven't we? This is not going to be good fun in any way, shape or form. And then to turn it round and have those big moments, it's one that gets forgotten about because we don't win it. I think if we win the Europa League that year, I think that goes down in like the pantheon of like St Etienne and Barcelona and all that kind of stuff. Like, but no, I think that's it. And it's probably the best You'll Never Walk Alone there's ever been at Anfield, because you'd have both sets of fans singing it as well. Antony, what could you have possibly gone for?
Listen, it was actually Barca. I remember when we beat Barca. It was unbelievable. I remember phoning my best mate and was like, look, we're going to go to the final, because my best mate to Liverpool crazy is. And I said, look, mate, I'm going to take you to the final. So we went over there, and obviously we beat Spurs, but it was 2-0. It wasn't the best game, was it? But the atmosphere was unbelievable. And I remember like all the Liverpool fans just dancing in the streets at like 4 or 5 in the morning. I remember thinking, wow, this is unbelievable. It's because I've been up the wall my life, like the last 20 years fighting, just dead busy. So to go over there and experience it was unbelievable. And to see all the fans, the best fans in the world, bar none.
Bevy?
No, I wasn't allowed. I was actually fighting.
He's an athlete then, so he's like,
my legs were killing me. I was walking around with dead legs, or I was out for hours, everyone. But I was like, look, I'm going to get off soon. These are all on one, but yeah, I was sober, unfortunately.
There was something about being over there for that, and it was seeing the fan park and then seeing JB Webster playing. But I remember walking around, and you'd see little pockets of Spurs fans, and there'd be little groups here and there, and they were singing the Cockney bollocks songs that they sing.
Little theme
It was
tunes.
far outnumbered. It was spot a Spurs fan, wasn't it? He was none of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It was genuinely something else. And you're right, it wasn't like it was the best game of football ever,
Yeah.
but like,
Still won.
Wins a win.
Thought it was all about the winning.
Trophies.
We get remembered as the champions of Europe.
100%. Bianca?
Well, mine is the Barcelona game, the semi-final. I remember I was
You got that one early. I was like, any game that you really want to go for, you were like, bang.
That is the one, the spectacular one. I remember I was last minute. I actually went and was made up, and I put a cheeky bet on before, and I said they're gonna do it 4-0, and it all was magical that whole night. And I remember I didn't sit down the whole time. Like everyone was just cheering, going for it, and it was like the impossible happened. So it was incredible.
That there's never been a let off like that. I don't think in a footy match.
No.
Like that, I think the equaliser, the Genie one, I've never felt a feeling like that because that. I mean, it's not the one that wins it, but
It's a miracle, really, wasn't it?
That Genie one, it's ridiculous, isn't it? He scores 2 that day, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like, he was just... I don't know. I remember just clocking eyes with Rob Glover, actually, because he was sat about 20 rows in front of us or something, and he's just screaming at me going, "What the fuck is going on?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know!" And that's all I really remember about it.
Unbelievable.
Like...
I don't think you could write it, though. Well, literally, it was one of them, wasn't it?
it was one of those moments because we went to the new camp for the first leg and they're missing that chance late on Dembele fluffs his lines, and it was one of them where I remember it's one of those things that you get to say after the fact. I remember thinking that could be a big moment, that, like, you know what I mean, like, whereas in reality was it bollocks, we were 3-0 down to Barcelona, like, it shouldn't have been a big moment at all. But the way they played, it's probably the best, might be the best game Liverpool have ever
Played. Yeah.
Yeah, there's...
apart from Middlesbrough.
Bombs, Chloe's out there.
Yeah, no, it was...
got the best win. Champions League semi-final, Champions League final, Middlesbrough at home.
To be fair, someone said
That's like
most important.
so.
That was where I was at.
That big 3-0 win
Yeah, you
against
got a good
Middlesbrough
one.
was it
Thank
for me,
God.
Stick your Champions League
I
times
know.
up your ass.
And we've won 6 of them. I'm getting bored now, guys. Give me something else. Don't get to play Middlesbrough that much. No, that Barca game was absolutely incredible. It stunned me. I just remember crying after full time. I saw my brother. I went down to my brother and I just cried because I thought, there's no way we can't win this now. It seems like it's written. It felt like it wasn't just 11 men and 50-something thousand people in the stands all behind us. It felt like there was some storm somewhere which we'd just been swept in, and it had taken us with it that night. So, yeah, it was one of them where you genuinely couldn't believe it. And the way we scored the 4th, Divock Origi, the cult hero, with a young Scouser assisting him, absolute miracle.
That, I watched those highlights back, when Trent takes that corner. You know, like great films, I was equated to like Back to the Future, the bit where Doc's got to connect the lightning rod thing, and every time I watch that, my hairs are up on the back of my neck, and you know it works out because it's happened, it's the past.
Yeah.
But I watch that highlight, and I expect him to miss it every single time I watch that back. I still tense up because it's ridiculous. When the vision of Trent, the fact that Divock is just there. And the fact that he sticks it away, and for that to be the goal that wins it is just something else.
That's what I mean. Like you said, no one could have written that out. It was perfect. And I was there. No one sat down the whole way. Even some guy had a crutch. Like he had a full on, it was in the air, like all for the whole 90, whatever. Do you know what I mean? It was unreal. And it was like this crutch was just getting passed around, and it was like the lucky stick, and it worked. So listen, wherever that guy is with his crutch, come back out.
Yeah.
Bianca, like when I was there as well, like, and did it feel like there was something in the air, like to you, like something mad?
And it went so quick. That's the thing as well. It was just like magic. It was one. It was like something like we never. Well, no one thought it was like we all wanted it to happen, but we didn't think it was happen. Like the fact I put a cheeky bet on was a miracle.
How much did you win?
A few bob, like. Few bob. Everyone was like, "A stupid, it's not gonna happen." But you never know. So
Someone
got it in there.
So going now.
Someone before we lost 3-0 was like, can I buy you a ticket for that game? And I was like, as if I wouldn't let you buy Middlesbrough off me. Never mind it.
You're asking the wrong girl.
And like
Yeah.
he tried. I know he tried to give me, and I was like, you couldn't pay me $1 million. And I remember we lost 3-0. And I went into college and he looked at me and he went, you should have let me give you that like 100, 200 quid or whatever. And I was like, nah, I support my team no matter what. And the day afterwards I walked into college and saw him and he just went, don't speak to me. And he just walked off. But I think it was
You're
the
going to
fact...
name him and shame him?
No, I don't remember. To be perfectly honest, I don't remember his name. I just remember that
That's
moment.
even worse.
No, I think the big factor was we went there knowing that there was nothing to lose because we were already out of it, and I think that we were major underdogs for that reason, and I think that's why we did so well.
What was yours, Paul?
I
Because we're going for a top 5 here.
I know, so I got
I feel like we've only got 4.
we've got a few honourable
Blackburn
mentions.
at home, in.
Well, I remember what Emre Can's overhead kick at Watford. The one, and it was a conversation I think both of you had talked about potentially having this one as well. It's a more recent one, was beating United at Old Trafford last season. I mean, you don't go to Old Trafford and win. It just very rarely happens. And it's telling that we can all name it. We can all name our memories, and it tends to be what age you were supporting Liverpool. So I remember the Danny Murphy free kick in like 2001. I remember where I was watching that. I was working in Comet and Speak. It was on the big screens. I had fought tooth and nail with the manager who was a mank at the time to get that on the screen, and then when that goal in and he had it turned off. And then there's obviously like the great kiss. It's 4-1, isn't it? And like Fernando Torres putting Vidic on his arse and all that. Yeah, to say that. But yeah, 5-0. Like, I mean, Bianca, you were at that one as well.
I saw that one as well. I bought a bet on there. Every time, I had Salah win a hat trick. He got a hat trick there, didn't he, or something like that?
Yeah.
I did some them stupid bets that you do. No, I do them stupid random. Well, they're not stupid. They're like impossible odds. I'm whacking a pound on or whatever, a bit more, then I'll get something for it. But yeah, I was actually lucky that I went. I went with Adidas, so I was in the United side, and I was like, come on, don't go too crazy. But I was with some other scouser as well, and then it was just goal after goal after goal, and then before we just couldn't shut up, we were just like, rah, and sit in the United bit, which it's a bit disrespectful, but I thought this is like a great time to just go for it, and honestly, it was unreal.
But Andy, it gets underestimated sometimes, doesn't it? But like beating United is like a highlight of your life. You know what I mean? Let alone
You're speaking to Olympians here, Paul. It's a highlight of our lives.
No, it wasn't. I went with my husband, right? And he's a Man United fan, and it was like my day. You know what I mean? I was like 5-0 home. See you later.
but that's the thing, we talk about importance. You're going to be a Liverpool manager. Beating, we won the Champions League and we went there the season after and we drew. And that should have been our big coming out party, and it never was. To then go after the fact, last season, and we didn't know how good the season was going to be at that point. But to go and just wipe the floor with them, we're all, you love growing up the same as all of us, where United have been the dominant force in the league. You lived your life in the miserable world of Man United being good. So to get to actually slap them down.
In their own backyard as well. It's the best thing about it, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It was 9-0 on aggregate that season, wasn't it? Like, that's just like, you don't do on aggregates in the league, but when you beat United, you fucking do.
Keep claiming it.
We asked the Club Legends Discorders for some suggestions for games, so a couple of the other ones that came up in this one. West Brom 1, Liverpool 2, Alisson Becker header, Chloe.
It was good, yeah. Oh. I remember, I don't look at my phone, right, but I was like, guys, I'm putting us all out of our misery. I'm looking, and I saw James Pierce, Alisson, and I just started running around my house, and everyone was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I was like, Alisson scored. And Alisson hadn't even came up. We were legally watching this game. And Alisson hadn't even come up. And then someone saw Alisson come up, and like the rest of the house just started screaming before the goal had even went in, because I'd ruined it. That's absolutely incredible. And I loved the interview he gave afterwards. It was such a tough time for him. It was a tough time for Jurgen Klopp and all of us. And in that moment, he stepped up and became a hero.
Goalies don't score winning goals in football matches.
No, they score the goal to draw if they ever score. Don't they? That's because they never come up when you're drawing. They'll come up when you're 1-0 down or you're 2-1 down. They don't score winners, apart from Alisson Becker, of course.
Absolutely unbelievable. What else we got? Villa 1, Liverpool 2, Chris, 1920, title challenging season. It's like last gasp goals, Robbo, man. It kind of typified that we were just going to win the league.
Did that season. That's all we did, isn't it? You know, we just found a way to win games late and stuff like that. And yeah, so I don't think it deserves top 5, if I'm being totally honest.
Okay. Norwich 4, Liverpool 5. I could see a couple of them go, Norwich. It's going to be, nah.
Did Chloe pick this from?
I was thinking that.
Lallana, late winner. Klopp loses his glasses in celebrations.
Just brilliant, wasn't it? Absolutely superb. I mean, again, like it's the pylon, isn't it? And then Klopp's glasses are all like this and all over the place, and fans are getting involved with it and all that type of stuff. That like Norwich were just brilliant for us, weren't they? For so many years,
Thank
we
you.
just absolutely battered them.
Yeah, big one. Liverpool 1, Everton 0. Divock Origi 90+6.
Was there anything to remember about this game?
Well, everything. I don't remember anything that happened in that football match before 95 minutes.
What happened on 95?
Well, around the 95th-ish minute, Virgil van Dijk takes one of the wildest left-foot swingers at the football ever.
Just goes out of play though, right?
Well, it should, Chris. It should arc comfortably over the crossbar. But what happens is...
There's a small Tyrannosaurus Rex.
There's a small goal. That's an answer. In net to the sides, for reasons that will go to his grave, to tip the ball basically into play onto the bar.
It's because his arms were sort of clawed.
Yeah.
Couldn't flick it that way with clawed arms.
And Divock Origi heads it in, and the most Everton thing ever happened.
Bedlam.
I've never known anything.
I got picked up. I don't know where I ended up on that car. I just got picked up and taken. That's what happened.
It was mental, that, wasn't it?
We had a lad interning for us at the time, Bailey, who vowed to get a tattoo with that. I can't remember what the circumstances were, but he did. We sent him to town to get the Origi 90+6 tattoo on his leg. What does that all look?
Fair play for getting it.
Absolutely
Like,
massive it was as well on his leg.
Good times we had. Okay, one more that I've got here. Porto 0, Liverpool 5. This is an outsider show for me, Chloe. It's back in the Champions League, 17-18.
I was there.
You
It was February 14th. It was Valentine's Day.
It was. We
And
were
me-
both away. We left our missus
Yeah.
on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Brother,
It's all
me
coming
brother.
I'm
out.
surprised I have not been made to never forget that fact. So, like,
I think we do it every year.
well, I went away to Villarreal for a birthday last year, which she hasn't let me forget. So
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah, we were in Orange.
spent her birthday in a shared hotel room with Steve Hall. It was great.
Valentine's Day with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Liverpool and Orange running riot in the Dragao. They never lost. They never ever lost a game there, and we were all a bit like, "Oh, Porto, well, these might be quite a good European pedigree there," and we dicked them everywhere.
Yeah, it was the start of Alay 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 as well. That was the first time Alay 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 had been sung. It was pissing down rain. It was boss, and I think Salah took about 5 touches for his goal, one of his goals, which was absolutely incredible. It was bouncing, yeah. That game, I wouldn't say it's in my top 5, but it was absolutely boss.
Okay, we now need to pick a top 5.
Should we just start?
Middlesbrough won.
She's going for it, she's claiming it.
We'll start with number 5.
Middlesbrough.
Origi.
I'm not sure Middlesbrough makes the top 5.
But this is
Maybe the Everton one.
important games. This is not just like necessarily the famous
No,
ones.
Middlesbrough is important, but so is laughing at the Everton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
And that guy got the tattoo.
Yeah.
So
So what do we think?
Argue with that later.
Everton.
Go on,
Five.
Liverpool 1, Everton 0.
Yeah.
Origi 90 plus 6
Yeah.
is our the 5th biggest win under Jurgen Klopp. Okay.
And just put tattoo.
Boo, Joe. Right, okay. 4. I think we know what 1's going to be, but we can work our way up to that. I think we probably know what 1 and 2 are. So it's a question then of what 3 and 4.
We're sitting here like we've won it.
Yeah.
It's one of you
Like
two.
a full-on competition, like we're so competitive. We picked the right one.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said Dortmund.
I said Dortmund. It's probably 4 or 3 in it, Dortmund.
Is it?
I think it sets up everything else that
don't-
happens.
Can't
Sure.
disagree.
I'm not.
Don't think it's in the top 5. Tell him. He's
Wins
sat right next to you.
ever.
Look at him and tell him. Say, Chris
Eyeball him.
Pajak, I
Yeah.
don't think your pick should be in the top 5.
It was a boss night, but it was Europa League.
Yeah. But you picked Middlesbrough.
I know because I was stuck between that for importance and someone else had chose Spurs.
Yeah,
I
but
had
the
to go
fact that
with
you
it.
even
now.
managed to get Middlesbrough in with that is
You
mental.
started, I was like, you led the way.
Exactly. I had to, go with the philosophical one, the one that really hits home. But
I
means
agree.
fuck all.
I agree with Chloe. I think the Middlesbrough game is more important than the Dortmund game.
I wouldn't have said that. Like, I'm gonna be honest, but I just.
There we
wanted
go.
to-
Jesus Christ.
He's trying to help you, yeah.
No, I know.
live
but,
on
like,
the internet. So what have you done?
No, I said it more out of like meaningful, not because.
No, it's fine. This is what we're talking about, Chloe. Not all things are about glory and and famous nights. I'm talking about
Exactly.
important. Of his 250 wins, it's the one that means we can win the Champions League because we start on the path of being a top 4 team again.
Now you're selling it, like. go on,
Exactly.
put it up there.
Come on,
Back
Chloe.
yourself, Chloe.
Have you courage your
Without
convictions?
Dortmund, do you
There
have
we
the
go.
belief that you can go and do it against Barcelona? Do you know what I mean? You come back against
I see
Dortmund
that.
late in a European semi-final, and there
We've got
you go.
We've got 2 slots. If we put Dortmund and Middlesbrough in,
Which way, though?
what's losing out? Is
United,
Man United
United
5-0's
found
missing
out.
out.
Oh,
Alright,
yeah,
can't miss
yeah. Oh,
out
no,
that.
one of them I gotta go.
Can't get rid of Man United.
I
can
didn't
you?
know that you would just
That's
pick.
his
I
favorite
thought you were
as well,
picking from the
personally.
entire list and then just start, not just our thing.
Andy
Yeah,
says
yeah, we are.
Spurs middle.
No, the
Pick
whole
from the
list.
list.
I'd go
If you want to make the
Dortmund,
case for Aston Villa.
United,
United's gotta be free.
Spurs and Barca.
Yeah.
So what did we fall down on 4 then? I missed that.
We've left Middlesbrough.
You swerved Middlesbrough off.
But Dortmund.
I agree with it.
You
Oh, we agree now?
I agree now. Yeah.
She's been peer pressured.
No,
No, she's learned the facts. She knows
No,
now.
I still hand on heart believe it was a turning point, but 3. I didn't, I wasn't going mental when we beat them 3-0 inside the stadium that day.
Yeah.
I just knew it meant importance for the future.
Yeah.
Where 5-0, I was screaming.
Yeah.
I would I could relive watching
Yeah,
that
that
every
is-
single day.
that
I
deserves
can't
it.
relive the Middlesbrough 3-0 every single
Just
day.
on
'cause it's just a
repeat.
bit boring.
Yeah, she's
Every
repeating it.
morning, bang.
The West Brom game again. Alison Becker's header should probably be in that conversation. It's the one that literally
That's a
we're
good
probably playing
moment.
in the fucking Europa Conference League if he doesn't score that. We got to the Champions League final last season because Alison Becker, the goalie, went and scored a winning goal against West
I
Brom.
will say take Dortmund out for that.
Flip-flopping wankers.
No, I'm
Good
just
shout.
being nice.
I just think there's been that many big moments.
I reckon that moment is better than.
Exactly.
That's
If
an
you're talking about
important. If you
moments,
talk, yeah. A header like that.
Okay, so number 4, West Brom, Alison Becker.
And who does that, do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Only one man.
Well,
Agreed.
then what's number 3 then?
United.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm with that.
Okay, so number 4.
All right then.
So 5,
We've
Liverpool
just been
1.
giving Chloe
nil.
down the banks for Middlesbrough, and we've got West Brom at 4.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but it's a moment.
yeah. Who scored Liverpool's goals against Middlesbrough?
Do you know when Alden got
Adam
1?
Lallana.
All right, Sarah, I wasn't expecting you to answer that question then. Okay,
I'll
Sarah,
shut
take it
Do you know
back.
when Alden opened the scoring?
Yeah.
I don't know whether Adam Lallana scored. I just put it up there. I think he
Right.
did that.
Okay, Sarah, so 3, therefore, is Liverpool beating Manchester United 5-0.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that one. So we've got our 5, 4, and 3. And then it boils down to
Fight.
fight.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, I'm going to give it to the girl.
Yeah, 100%.
Fair,
I'd
it
put
was-
Barca above.
So, number 2, Champions League for a 6th European Cup, 2nd, and top.
I agree.
But if you
know,
didn't
for
have
Barcelona
this,
now.
you wouldn't have that.
Yeah, that's a
It was also
point well
You know what I
Anfield.
mean? Like,
It was at home.
Just to beat Messi as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, see Messi just like,
World
World Cup winner, you know.
Messi getting flipped off by the skeleton.
Not knowing that he'd be what he is now.
Absolutely incredible. Okay, I feel quite good about that list. We'll let Joe frantically type that up so we can get the graphics up, but we've got our top 5. If you agree or disagree, let us know in the comments on this. What was 2? 2 was
First.
Champions League win.
Champions League win, yes.
The score was 2-0, Joe.
So, 5 was
Forgot what it
We're
is.
so
Everton.
good at this.
Divock Origi, 90 plus 6.
Yeah, West Brom.
4 was Alisson Becker, West Brom. 3
United.
was United, beating United 5-0.
I remember in the different the tattoo, the header, the victory,
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, that's it.
the final, the semi.
Yeah.
So how many of them did you win that one?
2.
So that's pretty good.
Going a
that, to
bit
be
like
fair,
as well, eh? I think I'm banned from one of the accounts.
Took home a bag full of Adidas swag as well.
Yeah,
The electric-
Thanks, Adidas.
Right, have we got it, Joe? There we go. They're officially Jurgen Klopp's top 5 biggest wins as Liverpool manager of the 250. It's a pretty special list, and when you consider the things that have not made it, yeah, wow.
Was any of them that one with the glasses?
No, that was
Norwich.
not
No,
it.
not a
Why did you win money on that? As well?
Yeah,
I had a £5 on top breaking his glasses.
I bet that he dropped them. If you smashed them, I would have won a tenner.
Put a pound and I got £1 million back off it. Absolutely outstanding. Right, Sam, there you go. There's our list. If you agree or disagree, let us know in the comment section. Actually, the other one that didn't get mentioned was 4-1 over Man City at the Etihad.
That was a brilliant game, that one. That was the start of like Jurgen Klopp's proper Liverpool side.
pressing, yeah.
So yeah, the pressing and everything else. Bobby Firmino was absolutely sensational that day.
Yeah.
That was the first time I really saw him as number 9.
We were like 3 metres away from the Man City fans as well. It was fucking brilliant.
You know
I
what?
love that.
For moments, that Salah goal 2-1 to send us, in that 2-1 win.
Oh, the quarter-final.
Dink, that for a moment, incredible.
Absolutely. Yeah, keep your suggestions coming in the comments. We're going to take a very short segue into our supporters club of the week, who come all the way from America. Have a look at this. Yeah, amazing. Huge love to the OLSC Delaware, supporting the mighty Reds from afar. If you want to celebrate your love and your gang of mates getting together and watching Liverpool on the 4 corners of the earth, then do email interact@theredmentv.com. And if you want to send us some videos and photos, then we'll feature on the show gladly. Big shout as well to Footy Classics, who are our artist of the week, which you may have seen the artwork as the guys were walking in through the door. Top quality stuff. Right, let's crack on. It's time for Rate My Take. Love this one. Genuinely love this one. We've got some wild and weird stuff this week. Joe, do we have a graphic for this?
Let me see this.
Do it. Graphic us, Joe. Yeah. Did you do it already? Oh well, I think I missed it. It's even
Everyone's
better.
a
So
lefty,
good
yeah.
we do it twice.
Yeah.
Everyone comfy?
Yeah.
Yeah, as we learned, if you just explain to them, there's no thumb hole.
I was trying my best. I'll make one.
I made one in one last week,
Yeah, there's a stray.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hang on.
Realise.
There's the Chris Page thumb hole. Sound.
Paid extra for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Right, okay. First take of the week comes from old Git Victor, who says Kirby's new training ground Liverpool's new training ground at Kirkby, is built on an old burial ground. That's why we get so many injuries. #cursed.
It's got to
It
be.
can't, like, now it might
okay.
be that we run our players loads. Like, you know what I mean? We have really, really intensive training.
But it's more likely that it's that.
That they're built on some sort of burial ground.
Yeah.
Is that actually true?
No, it can't possibly be. Oh, no, it could possibly be true. I'm sure they'd have figured that out maybe beforehand.
Maybe they're tripping. They're all tripping over the bones.
It's nearly built on the David Lloyd. I know that much, but it's no. It does feel like it though, doesn't it, Chloe? Sometimes when you wonder how Liverpool seem to get so many players injured out of nowhere.
Yeah, it does. It feels like every time you get one back, one gets injured as well.
Two.
Yeah, or
Two get
two.
injured.
But to be fair, it's most definitely our own fault. So sorry, I don't mind a conspiracy theory, but it is our fault.
Have you ever had that in training where you feel like no matter what you do, it's like there's some sort of curse against you? You've just got like a...
You know what? I was my own worst enemy. I wouldn't listen. It's my own fault. I get told not to do something. I'm like, nah, I know better. And then actually, you know, you fucking... you sit down in bed, bastard. Should have listened. And I never even let me listen, so I can't even complain.
Yeah, you get to like a point where you're like, you know how much you've got to do, so we give everything I've got, and you've got to be on that line. Like, if you below it, you're not going to get that far. If you're over it, then you've pushed too much, so you've got to like go just above it. So you've got to take that chance, but sometimes you can get injured from it.
It's like me in Carberry. I'm right with you.
Do you know what I mean? It's hard balance, isn't it?
I was going to say then, the worst thing I've ever done, which I'll always regret until I put one on my deathbed. When I qualified for the Olympics, I took my ex-girlfriend to Dubai to like celebrate qualifying for the Olympics. And then when we were like on holiday, we went to some like little day out, little trip, and I looked over and I seen this woman and her family on quad bikes, and I thought, oh, that looks fun. But because there's like a woman and kids on it, I thought, oh, must be alright. So I went on it. I'm going with my ex-bear goes past me, and I thought, what's she doing here? So I tried to like put my foot down to get round it. I've come flying off on a hill. You probably know this. Come flying off the hill. The bike lands off me, and as soon as it hit the floor, I thought, oh my God, I've hit myself bad. I knew I had the Olympics 2 or 3 months after it. So when I hit the floor, I couldn't breathe. I was pure winded. I couldn't lift my arm up, and I thought, shit. So I limped back to me, the fella. And I was trying my best to like put the quad back on straight. I thought, I don't want to pay for this because if it's broke. I'm trying to put the quad back up. So I thought, I'm not paying for this for it. Do you know what I mean? So when the fellas come back, I'm saying, oh, it's all right, mate. It's just broke down. So I've walked back, but I knew I hit myself. I knew I was bad. Do you know what I mean? So I've actually got a big massive scar on my shoulder now. Yeah. So when I got back to Sheffield, I was walking. I was like, Rob, I can't train. Why? He went, mate, I fell off a quad. He went, you fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
How long before the Olympics was it then?
Like 3 months or something. I literally went to the Olympics with one arm. I had a fight with one arm in the Olympics. The day before the fight, I had injections to like so I could use my arm, but I got a pure twat of a draw as well. I got this world champion first fight as well. So what's all you need? One arm, innit?
You go, hey mate, any chance you've had a quad bike?
Yeah. Do you want to play a fair game? Do you want to put one on?
Mate, come on, where's the honour in this?
Yeah, I know what, and I also regret that because I obviously had to fight with the one arm. And I lost fair and square. I might have lost anyway with 2 arms. He was that good, the kid, but I always think, fucking hell, mate.
They're little moments though, aren't you? Like you can't think like that.
What it was though was because I seen a woman and a kid on the bike give me a false sense of
lied
security.
to you,
One of those ones you put €1 in and they've got a little metal kid. It's like put it out in the arcades.
Yeah, fucking
Proper
hell.
scammed you there, didn't he?
Oh, done me.
So, the training ground is built on a burial ground.
I've got
I'm going, yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm into like things like that.
Yeah, why not? Right, we might have a conflict of interest in this next one. We'll see. Extinction level event at Vinny B79 says his take: Fowler was better than Owen and Heskey, and Houllier should have built the team around Robbie instead. Antony Fowler, cousin of Robbie Fowler.
You know what? When I was a
like
kid,
that.
when I was a kid, I was very bitter over it because at the time he was like the Wonder Boy coming through. And I was always like, no, fuck off, Robbie's better. But when I look back, a bit more mature now, Owen was coming through, was like one of the best of the world at the time. So I think he deserved to be the main man at that time. He was flying, many.
I was fuming with this.
As well.
I loved Robbie Fowler. He's God, and everyone knows, but he was my favourite player. And Owen was fine. and everyone adored Owen at the
But he
time.
wasn't a
That's what he
Liverpool
did.
player, he was an England player.
Yeah.
That was the difference for me. Like, Robbie wanted to be a Liverpool player, didn't he? You know, Michael just wanted to play for England, and he was amazing.
He's not even a Scouser, he's from Chester.
It's stupid though, isn't it? But when you're a kid growing up, that matters more. You know what I mean? Definitely. Like Robbie, there was just something about Robbie that was like he was absolutely on the pedestal. He did. I mean, I've spoken to him about it, and he knows he did himself no favours at the time. He had that big falling out with Phil Thompson and stuff, which didn't help him. But the fact that we had Fowler, Owen, and Heskey at the same time is mad. I think.
Thumbs up.
Because if you could pick the two, who would you rather have had the successful Liverpool career, Fowler or Owen?
Fowler.
Fowler for me. Bianca.
Fowler.
Fowler. Fowler.
Yep.
Fowler.
Fowler.
You're like, thank God for that.
I thought we use.
Chris, here's one for you.
Okay.
Craig at Ghana 0902. Vegard Hegem was a man out of time. If he was born this generation, he would have been top 3 wing-backs in the world.
Wow, really? Top 3? I like Vegard Hegem, don't get me wrong, but I'm not calling him top 3 wing-backs in the world.
I'm not. I want a show of hands. How many people remember Vegard
I'm
Hegem?
struggling to get on the team back then. We was top 6.
He was, yeah.
I'm on a break.
What year was it?
Ever heard of Vegard
What
Hegem?
year was it?
I think
Before she was born.
he was literally. I think he was even still a Liverpool player up until like 2004, which surprised me.
Oh, right, yeah. At
Yeah.
3, I should have really known that, to be honest, shouldn't I?
Yeah,
That's just killed me, how young she is.
flying fullback. Yeah, I know.
Listen, if we're talking Oyvind Leonardson as possibly one of the best midfielders, I can back that horse. No, I'm kidding. Vegard Hegem was not one of the best top... No, you're an idiot. Whoever said it. What was his name?
Block him.
Down.
Block him.
Craig.
Craig's an idiot. Basically down.
Sorry. I liked Vegard Hegem. He was good.
I did too, but like that's a stupid take.
That's a big ask.
Jack 2505. Everton's relegation is overdue. They're one of the founding members of the Premier League and have only the FA Cup in '95 to show for it. If they were any other team, they would have been relegated by now. I see. This is the thing for the team. Yeah, look, it's Everton. We share the city with them. We've all got friends or maybe family who support them. They're in our lives, no matter what's going to happen. But when you put it that way, this whole like we've never been relegated thing, great. They literally haven't won a trophy since 1995, Chris. If that was like West Ham, no one would bat an eyelid at them being
They're
relegated.
irrelevant. That's it. You know, I was talking to Matt from the Blue Room podcast, one of the Everton podcasts, last week, and he said that the line to me, he was like, look, for about 3 years there, we've been the most irrelevant team in the league. We don't win against the big sides. We're not really threatened with relegation. No one remembers the results against us. We just sort of exist in the middle of it, and that's like that. I actually quite like that. Because that's funny.
You need them people to beat, though, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
And there's got to be a derby. So.
You should have definitely had those sparring partners, and like when you come in, you're like,
They get it hard.
Fresh meat.
They get paid, like.
Yeah, get paid.
Everton's relegation is overdue. Agree or disagree?
I think I agree.
I agree, to be honest. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it? More live than a cat.
More lives than a cat.
Next take. Dave O'Carroll says, selling Crouch in the summer of 2008 cost us the title in 2009. Rate that take.
I can't remember how much of a difference he'd have made, to be honest with you. Can you? He didn't score loads for us, did
Well,
he?
we
But he was an
bought
option.
Robbie Keane and then sold him back halfway through the season, which is another take that I've avoided. Several people put that in this week, but I went with the Crouch one. I think, yeah. I think having another fella who could score goals, that was a really weird... That we sold Peter Crouch because we needed money, not because he wasn't good enough to play for Liverpool, and that was how badly run Liverpool were at the time. They needed £11 million so Rafa could go and invest it in trying to get Gareth Barry, apparently. Disagree? Agree?
I don't know. I honestly, I can't remember.
I don't think
wouldn't-
Crouch
I
is
mean, I
that.
feel
I don't
like
think
you
Crouch.
shouldn't.
I think Crouch is a legend, but we're gonna win the league with Crouch. You know what I mean? He weren't that much of a big. He was called winning, but he weren't the best.
I don't know.
From my memories.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like
I
he
don't
stands
think
out
got
because
that
he's
many.
tall.
That's all. Walking lamppost.
He owns it and he's done well, but to win it, like you
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
is
he
he
went-
going to win?
It's a
I'm
big
with you too.
ask, you know.
Would he have been a better backup for Fernando Torres than David Ngo?
I mean, I
Yeah.
would have been a better backup.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we'd win the league with me as the backup either, does it?
Don't doubt yourself.
No, you were all for it 2
I
minutes ago.
think
There you go.
if we kept Peter Crouch, we'd have won the title.
We've
in
got a better
2009.
chance. What about that?
Yeah.
Better chance.
You just
Do you
wouldn't
remember
want
what happened when Crouch got on the pitch with Jamie Carragher? we just hoofed the ball forwards.
Yeah. But do you remember how good his touch was for him being a big lad?
But do you remember how Jamie
Just
Carragher's long
respect.
balls never hit the target?
No, hit the target every time. He's 12 foot tall, Chris. It was his I reckon if you had pass completion stats from that season, Jamie Carragher's was like 100%. Because he's
And you've a
smacking
Crouch.
up-
Just draw them in. Fair play.
Right, okay, good one there from there, Dave O'Connell. We've got a couple more left to go.
Hang on, did we vote?
I think I said yeah.
Mine was
You
no,
said
sorry.
no.
No.
Yeah, go on.
Being peer pressured again, you.
Yeah, no, I'm too nice.
I had you back, Crouchy.
The tall ones.
Dan, who is Betefan Sajetic, go ahead, says Martin Skirtle was twice the player
No.
Daniel Agger was,
No,
No,
never. in
but
a
doesn't get even half the
million
love.
No.
years.
I don't know.
Absolutely
so
not.
No,
Daniel Agger,
no.
I absolutely adore you.
I'm not sure about that either. But
I'm copying them.
Can I finish?
Different
Sorry.
players.
Yeah,
I'll finish the
Where's
point.
my hand?
Skirtle doesn't get half the love or acclaim as a Liverpool legend because he doesn't have YNWA tattooed on his hand.
there is something to that.
There is.
He was just not as fit as Daniel Agger.
Is that?
Like, I don't... Daniel Agger is a specimen. Martin Skittle with hair now, actually, is not that bad. But Daniel Agger was adored because he was unbelievably good looking at the same time.
I do think the tattoo thing is a big thing still. Like, I mean, people do just go, well, just like, well, he's got YNWA tattooed on his whole.
One of us.
Legend, absolute
He's
legend.
in the club.
Yeah. I mean, there's a good chance that it probably put him out for about a month, injured, getting that tattoo on his hand because he was out for every other injury under the sun at his time at the club. I think people are very harsh on Martin Skirtle after the fact. I don't think for some reason his star hasn't risen in
I don't
absence.
think there was that much difference in terms of football quality for both of them. I think Daniel Agger was overrated personally.
I love Daniel Agger.
I've said this, I don't know how many times, but I also don't think Skirtle was twice the player that Daniel Agger was. I think Daniel Agger was a better player.
So, Skirtle was twice the player.
That's a bit of a bold statement, that.
Okay, final one. Andrew Beasley, friend of the show, at Base Tune to Red. 99% of referees are not corrupt. They're just not good enough. Rate that take. Fucking idiots. A lot of them.
That's in every sport.
Well, I was going to say, are officials like that in all sports?
You always get idiots that don't get the jobs. I swear, like some referees and like judges are completely blind. Like, I mean, how many fights have you watched where you just think, how was that being a judge?
It can like change your whole life as well, that moment, what that ref does, and you can't control. Like, that's what the hardest thing about sport is, like with the referees. You can't control anything they do.
Is there a personality type that's the same for all referees in all types of sports? And by that I mean they were
Are they
probably
bald?
bullied. They were probably bullied in
The
school.
bald one.
Well, all the refs are bald now, so
Ours aren't, in Taekwondo, they're not bald.
But do you reckon they're the kind of people who just didn't
Just
get
put it out
listened
there.
to as kids and are just desperate to like
Make
be
it
in
out
control of something?
There's a certain type of character in the year. As in the amateurs, they were very corrupt. Like whoever they got told to favour, they would do that, wouldn't they? Where in pro boxing, it's probably similar, to be fair. Like the ones who the home fighter, the referee tries to help them as much as they can. I always remember Ricky Attenborough Floyd Mayweather. He wouldn't do it anyway, but anyway, time you get close to Mayweather, the ref was going break. You give Hatton no chance at all in that fight. I mean, so it's where it would have been in England with our referees, it would have been a different fight. But
Is that why there's always a big push for the home
That's the home advantage in it. Like
It's just life, innit? Like money controls the world. Like whoever's got the backing in terms of money gets the fair shake. The fair shake. Where if you're not generating money for whoever it is, the promoter, the organisation, you get put in the corner where you got to do twice as hard to win.
Is this why Jake Paul's doing so well?
Exactly, but he's not doing so well, is he? He's just picking who he wants. He's picking old fellas who from different sports. So if I'm getting Chris,
I went fishing with that
come
one.
back fight with Chris.
You could. I'm the pink whisperer. So we got in the ring with Leon Mackenzie.
I'll be your ref.
Yeah, so we got in the ring with Leon Mackenzie, and we were only sparring where we for like a video and stuff. Okay. Fucking hell, that was a long, like, was it 3 minutes? Or something?
If it was 30 seconds.
Like, honestly, it was.
It felt like 3 minutes. It was 30 seconds, right?
Honestly, mate, it was hell on earth.
You have to do taekwondo next.
No chance.
That's hard. I tried taekwondo. It's really
It's
hard.
your hips, because your arms
I
can
can't
move,
lift
but
my legs
your
up.
hips,
Yeah, no, it was hard. I done it with Jade. It was so hard that it kills you.
your hips are bad. The next day you can't walk.
We've had a running competition on Redmen of like who can kick the highest. That was like a theme last year, wasn't it? And yeah.
You'll have to do it again so you can kick the quickest.
Well, I know. Well, we know who would win in this room in the kick highest competition.
I'll judge. I'll be the ref. Any money?
You've got to be bold to ref, I'm afraid. So,
Get us a swimming cap. Go on.
So 99% of referees are not corrupt. They're just not good enough.
yeah,
Agreed.
Totally agreed. Meths, a lot of them. Right, very, very short break from us. We've got a boss show. We're going to continue to talk to these guys after the fact. We've got Redmen Uncensored to come. It's going to be episode 3 of that. Last week's show was eye-opening, to say the very least. So we'll have a little look at that, and then we will return for the final part where we preview Newcastle.
I mean, I did 10 days in Lisbon by myself after lockdown. I was in a hostel as well, which is a 35-year-old man. You don't really want to do, but I was the one with the room. So everybody else was in dorms, but there was one bedroom that I bought. And this little guy who'd had so much, like, he was like tiny, bleach blonde hair, all of the surgery that it's feasible for a human being to have on their face. This amazing bronzed little dome gut from drinking too much beer. And he said, can I stay in your room tonight? Because everybody snores in my dorm. And I was so high, I just couldn't say anything but yes. So I just went like, yeah. And when we went upstairs, I had a twin room with 2 beds next to each other. And he went, I sleep naked, is that all right with you? And I went, yes. And I just turned away. And then in the middle of the night, I sort of heard him breathing heavier and heavier. And I'm pretty sure he was like naked next to me with his huge bronze dome gut in the air. It's like, this is a story of my abuse, by the way.
And this is why I like my own company.
And this is also why me and Paul don't share a room anymore when we go to the FA Cup final.
Which one of you's
Well, I've got the bronze gut.
Yes, stay tuned. We have got a code that's going to give you free access to that show. I'll be giving the details on that at the end of Thursday night Pint, so stay tuned for that. It's time to talk, though, about the footy. Chris, Newcastle.
Let's just beat them.
Yeah.
I'm fed up of their story already. It's ridiculous. Like, can we just go back to like last season where Liverpool were really, really, really good at football?
Yeah.
And like Newcastle were irrelevant to us again.
Didn't have to think, did you?
Yeah, Mike Ashley was in charge of them, and you know they were never going to do anything, and everyone kind of liked them for it and stuff. So
I like Anthony. I like Newcastle's. I like Newcastle fans. I like Newcastle, the city. Like, you know, good people. And I've had some great times as them being a Premier League club throughout my life watching footy. But their story is fine, provided it's nowhere near our story. You know, like,
Or not above us.
They're okay as long as they're not in our spot, innit? That's the only problem with them.
Yeah,
I do love Jodies, to be fair, but not under in our spot.
I know, but it's true. But that's the thing, Bianca. If they were to go and finish this season in like Conference League spot or a Europa League spot, that's a huge thing.
Well done.
They're not going anywhere. They've got loads of money. They're going to compete eventually. Eventually, they'll have enough dough to be able to just get to the top, unless they Everton it, which would be even more hilarious, and just spunk a load of cash off the wall. So this is too early for this. I'm happy for them to just let them have some success. Fine, don't mind, so the fans can
Not
have something.
too much.
But yeah, exactly. Top 4, no. Tell them
No.
to need to get in the bin.
Just a little bit, that's it. But I reckon we can do it on Saturday.
It's just too important, Chloe. That, you know, it's
We
mad how
need
we've
to.
gone in the space of a week or two from it's dead and buried, top 4's not going to happen, it's too much. All of a sudden, this one, it's like you close the gap on them, and then you've got the game in hand to potentially play as well. It exists in possibility, but you can't afford to miss this opportunity because that's one of the things we're lucky almost that we're still in even slight touching distance of it.
Yeah, extremely lucky, and it goes to show what, you know, just a turn of momentum can do for you. You know, you beat your rivals 2-0, you look a lot better. Hopefully that confidence that you can take into Newcastle. The teams in and around us are starting to drop points a little bit. Look, we've still got a mountain to climb, but it starts this weekend, and you can try and claw it back. And also, Newcastle aren't in the greatest of form. I think they've drawn quite a lot of their previous games. I don't know whether Bruno Guimaraes is still in because he got a red card in their semi-final, so he might not even be available, and he's absolutely influential to them. So yeah, it's one where we really have to set the tempo right, because this could be the start of our season, which we've all waited to happen at some point, and it's started well too late, but at least finish strong.
Well, yeah, this is
6
normally...
points of this, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, we're 9 points behind them, game in hand. Win our game in hand, we're 6 behind them. Win this one, we're 3 behind them. You know, I know it's all ifs, buts and maybes at the moment, but you've got to think. A week ago, I thought we were completely out of it. We were dead and buried in the race for top 4, and if they have Liverpool breathing down their neck, Antony, they're going to feel it, aren't they?
Of course. They've got a few hard matches coming up on me as well. So this game's really, really important, mate.
They've got a Carabao Cup final coming up. That is surely more important to them.
Yeah.
Which means they can lose the mind a little bit. They can focus on it a bit too much. They can rest players. If players have got I think maybe Murphy or Willock or someone came off the other day injured, maybe they look at that as okay, no, we need to save players. And I know that's still a couple of weeks away, but that's a massive game for them. And if you can't take your eye off the ball when it comes to the Premier League. And if they do that, then potentially Liverpool have a chance.
The Carabao Cup game's massive. We need to be their quad bike. Basically, we need to be.
Go and get on one.
I got a minute with Everton, the mum and the baby in the story on the top bike, and then
but all things aside, though, Bianca, like they've got that Carabao Cup game is huge. You know, it's a chance for them to win silverware for the first time in God knows how long. There's no way focus doesn't shift even slightly to that. You know, I'm not saying from minute one, but it's one of them where Liverpool start putting some tackles in, and those lads who are thinking, this is my big game, that's my big moment next week, I don't want to be injured for that one. That's what they've got to play on.
Listen, like we said on Saturday, if you don't start now, when you're starting, you know what I mean, we need to start. So hopefully I've got a chance and we can give a bit more, because we are falling a bit behind.
No, but it's been poo. The season's been, you know...
You never want to say it, but it hasn't been good, has it? No. So.
And I think the weirdest thing about it, Antony, is that none of us has really been able to go. It's that, and everyone's got their own like take on what's been wrong with Liverpool. And the truth is, it's all of them, and then it's loads of stuff that we don't even know. The derby was at least a game where everyone's walked out feeling better about themselves, looks at the team, they're all talking in the right way. It feels like the attitude's been reset, but you're beating 18th in the league, Everton at home, which you'd always do. That always do.
Repeating that always.
Always. Yeah. But it's fine, it's done now. Yeah. Like anything, that's in the past. You've got to take what you can take from that and push it into this. It's for nothing if they don't go and beat Newcastle.
It's been too hot and cold on the all season. There's been too many average performances. But like you said, win this match, you got away as well, aren't we? So win this match, it just kickstarts the whole season, and like just power through.
The away form is the big sort of hurdle.
Still only 2 games from home. Have we won 2 away from
That
home?
sounds like a fact
I think we might have
that I
only had.
don't know.
I think we might have only
You have
scored.
to see that one.
When I last
Villa
looked, it was
was
8 points from a possible 30, and I think it was 2 wins and 2 draws. And I think that's still the case. And that's not like 2 wins away from home. We're halfway into the season. That's terrible, isn't it? Like
Is it bad that I can't name the 2 teams?
we drew against, was it Fulham?
Oh yeah.
We drew against Everton.
We beat Aston Villa Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Woo.
Who's the other one?
We beat Southampton, but that wasn't in the league.
Who's the other one?
This sounds like we
Oh my
probably could have
God.
done some research on this before
Wow.
talking about it live on the internet in front of people.
It
Why-
just shows
why-
how
I feel
bad
like
it
we're
is, though.
talking about someone else
Listen,
here. We're
was I
talking about
right
Everton.
about? Was I right about the 2 wins and 2 draws?
Away from home, 2 wins, 2 draws.
We
6
should have just
defeats.
left it there.
Yeah, you
And it
would-
looked
you would-
really
you
good
would have
then.
nailed it.
Yeah.
And then Chloe had to start, well, who did we draw against to win against? And I look like a fucking idiot because I don't know.
I've genuinely
winged it.
forgot the season because of how bad we've been. I've had to.
Do you want to know where we are? If the league was based only on away form, do you want to know where we
Bottom.
are?
No, we're about 14th.
It's a really
I was going to say 30.
incorrect, but good guess.
Oh.
15th we'd be in the league. The only teams with a worse away record than us.
Southampton, Everton.
16th Everton, taking 7
Shame.
points.
Shock.
West Ham, Leeds, Forest and Bournemouth.
Southampton have had a better away record than us.
Southampton
Incredible.
have got a better away record than us this season.
Yeah.
It's going to change from now.
Guys, seriously, I don't think I've been a win away this season, so use of that to have been these aways that we've won it. That's quite bad of you guys,
Yeah.
honestly.
Maybe it's you, Clem.
At least I wasn't there when we won these games, so I shouldn't really remember.
Well, I've only been to Everton and United away this season.
Spurs. There we go. Well done, everyone. Thank
It
you
was
so much.
Stay, that's why.
1986 DDM, Joe West, Aaron, I've all got it right in the comments. Thanks so much. Yeah, Steve went to that one.
Yeah.
It might. Have you got a slight fear that it is you that's jinxing this, or what is it? Chloe?
No,
Blame Chloe.
because it's not changing, so guys, you're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, well,
So
I've
I'm
got a
not
bet
going
on
games.
Saturday.
But as
It all
Chloe
comes
going,
in.
Can you put it on, will you let us know?
100%, yeah.
do
I'm going to
it,
put, I'll say it now, what do I think?
Go 2-0.
So you can't just 2-1, I'm going to think again.
you want
2-1.
2-1.
You're like they're going to get cocky and then they'll score one, so.
Who's the goal scorers for us? Because I'll add them into it.
God, bloody hell, I don't know that. Like, that just pops up on the day.
I think Mo Salah is ready for a little
I think
run
Nunes
of goals,
is
ready. I
and
think
Nunes
Nunes.
as well. Yeah. A question for you, Chloe: if Jota's back, Bobby's back, you got Real Madrid on Tuesday. We need to win both of those games, or at least put the best possible showing out for both those games. Do you stick with Gakpo, Nunes, Gakpo, Salah again?
Yeah.
And then just another drip feeding in of Bobby and Diogo?
If there's absolutely any risk that any of them can get injured and you know, you've got 5 subs, so technically you could give them 60.
Yeah.
But once again, it's one game at a time, but I think Real Madrid's the bigger game because it's the Champions League, and that's me always thinking the Champions League. I wouldn't risk them. It's good to have them off the bench. Gakpo scored his first goal, let him go out.
Yeah.
Salah looked a different player than he has been the entire season. And Darwin Núñez is just absolutely chaos. Love it. So I wouldn't change anything. They actually looked like a football team who'd played together against Everton.
Yeah.
So don't change anything. Don't risk Firmino or Jota, but they can come off the bench on 60, give them 30, because you know they're very important to us.
What's your starting 3 for Madrid? Somewhere.
Oh, up front, probably
Núñez.
Bobby, Nunes, Salah would be me 3. I'll be honest, when Jota came on Monday, I thought his touch was miles off.
Yeah.
I think, and that's to be expected, to be honest. He missed 27 games. He's been out for a long time.
Have you done
27.
have you done a show on that by any chance? Because that's a random fact. Just
Yeah,
now,
no,
off the
that
top
was
of your head.
Yeah, no, I did a show a week and a half ago where I looked into how many games everyone had missed, so that was that.
Looking
We
cool.
don't know who one of our 2 away wins came
Yeah.
against, but you know how many games Jota's been injured.
No
Robert
one else,
tried
no
to
one else came up on me
smooth that
research.
in.
No one else came up on me research today. nothing to do with this show. Wijnaldum scored against Middlesbrough. I'm not
is that
even
why you-
joking. That's why I knew it, because I was doing a show about Wijnaldum.
Class.
So yeah, I think Jota's a little way off from starting games at the moment. So I think he probably needs a few 20-minute, 30-minute cameos, and then he can come back in. And Bobby, you know what you get with Bobby, don't you? So if you play in Real Madrid, Bobby's got that experience. He's been there, he's done it, he's won it, and he knows how to interact with Salah, and Nunes is going to do his own thing anyway, so let him go and do that.
Yeah, I think, really, really interesting shouts there again. What would you do? Who's your front three for this game? And then what are you doing for the Real Madrid game? Jota's goals. And they need to be careful with him. Because those lads who, I mean, again, just to kind of bring you guys other experience in this, if you don't get your preparation right, and you see this happen with footballers, and if you don't train for pre-season, they're more likely to get injuries, and they're more likely to continue to pick injuries up. They need to be careful with the likes of Jota because he's not right. He needs a full summer to get himself properly back on side again.
That's in every sport though, like that's not just there. Like if you haven't done the work and the money's not in the bank, then you can't perform. So you've got to be careful, otherwise someone's going to get injured again.
Is that thing that we talk about again? We talk about the line, and the line gets lower if you've not done the less solid prep you've done for the event.
Yeah, there's like so many games, isn't there, and everything. So you've always got to be there, but there's always a time when you've got to put the work in where it backs the foundation up. So you've got to, if you haven't got a good foundation, you're going to crumble at some point. Like that's literally how it is. So if he hasn't got it, then that's what you'll see it. You'll see it, cracks will start coming through. It sounds dead cheesy, but it is right. Like with any sport, football, boxing, taekwondo, anything, it's the same. If you don't put the work in, do the foundation, you'll get found out in the end.
So we were talking before off camera, weren't we, about how you always train in between your things and you would never leave it. I suppose that's the same thing as a pre-season, isn't it, for a footy player?
Yeah, just always keep me so ready, isn't it? Obviously, they're not living the life in between foot matches or they're going on the air, and injuries can happen, do you know what I mean? Even if they always train, sometimes you can do too much, and I know Klopp works the lads really, really hard and they're all super fit, but sometimes there's like a certain players can't deal with it and they get little daft injuries and that, so it's all about balance, but that's where you like your medical team, your physios, they all come into it then.
Did you have proper teams around you?
Yeah, like a full squad, everything. Like, well, like we don't even have an off season. Like ours is a joke. We have times where like we train more general stuff and like try and build up the base, but it's constantly all the way through. Like now's like the time to build the foundations and stuff, and then from like March, May, it'll just go flying for all the points for like the Olympics. So, but like we have, like you said, all the advice like strength and conditioning, nutrition, if they don't all come together, and everyone's individual, they don't come together, it'll break, do you know what I mean? You have to find the right thing for you. And what you did one year might not be the same for the year before. So you've got to constantly change and adapt.
As you get older as well, you got to do a little bit less, which is hard to admit, but you got to
be smarter.
Can't beat the clock, can you? As you get older, you're more likely to get injured, and you can't do as much. It's just the way it goes.
And to be fair, when you were younger, you didn't have the CBD stuff to fall back on.
Yeah.
True.
Get that in there.
One of the things I always find fascinating about like looking at sports from the outside, looking in, is that like, so say footballer, you've got to build your physical condition up for 9 months of a season. Whereas if you're going to the Olympics, you need to peak at the right time. Like, how do you even, and you're the same, you've got to peak for one night. Basically, how do you build it up so that you don't peak too early? Like, what is it that you're doing? Is it the amount of energy that you're taking on board as well? There's all that thing.
I think you learn as you go along. Sometimes you have certain fights, you'll try certain things, and you're fighting thing. I didn't feel right that day, and you know next time I've done a little bit much, and you try and adjust it. But it's super hard to get it right. Like it's so hard to get it right. Like I think I never really did get master it, because sometimes you do too much, sometimes you do too less, sometimes you make the weight wrong. You can try different things all the time, and like, but that's where experience comes in.
Yeah, like, time, experience and stuff. Like I've got the World Championships in May, and then I've got 2 competitions in March. But for me, I'm like, I'll be tired through them. I'm not bothered because I want to peak for May. Do you know what I mean? Like you could on paper say all that, but it doesn't mean it's always going to happen. You know, like obviously, hopefully it does. Do you know what I mean?
Even an injury can derail that, can't it?
Well, an injury can mess up the week, and then that week's messed up, and it's all gone back. But then you can't catch it up. You've just got to change it round. You can't be like, oh, I've missed this week, so I'll do double next week, because then you're just ruining the week before that. Yeah. So everything changes as it is, and you've got to have the people around you to like help adapt it.
Excellent stuff.
It's a nightmare though.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk more to the guys about things like training and the sacrifices made and, becoming Olympians and becoming at the top of the sports and stuff, and a few other bits and pieces that, might end up not safe for work, as ever, with the Uncensored show. But we're going to be doing that immediately after this one over on redmenplus.com, which you can get involved with. In fact, if you want to go over there, we've got a code for you right now. If you head over to redmenplus.com, click join now, take a £5 monthly subscription and use the code TNP. We've simplified it because it was uncensored previously, and that's far too many letters for a code.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. Go there, use the code TNP, capital TNP, and you can get a free month trial, which means you're going to get the 2 episodes that we've done already, and you get a full month's worth of episodes of the Uncensored show, and a whole lot more besides as well. So yeah, go and check that out.
So I did the code for Deep Dive, which hasn't aired yet. I went with Bacetic, which may not be the easiest code to type in.
I just fucking pronounce it.
I was like, I can't even spell me. I'm terrible.
BAJC. That's what.
ECTIC.
ECTIC. Yeah.
Always simplify, definitely.
Yeah.
Just put
I've
Pint.
done that wrong, haven't I?
Code A. Well done, Brilliant. Brilliant stuff, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Just lastly, you did your score prediction? You say 2-1? Is that what your bet's going on, or what do you think it's going to be?
You know what? I'm gonna go 3-0. Just something's just came in my mind.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm gonna put one of them special bets on as well on the side, just in case. And I'll let you know on the day.
Yeah, send us a text on that one.
3-0 now. I'm gonna say 3-0.
Okay.
Change my mind.
Anthony?
I'm going to go 2-0 Newcastle. I ain't joking. 2-0.
That's what I meant to do.
Chris?
I'm going to go 3-1 to Liverpool. Nunes, brace, Salah with 1.
Newcastle have conceded
Not many goals this season.
13 goals all season.
Yes.
Sounds got to concede at some point.
1-0 the Reds.
Yeah. I'll have that. Yeah, I think
You'll normally go like 1-0 or 5-0.
4-1. I think it'll be a close one. I think it'll be 1-0 or 2-1. What do you think it's going to be? Let us know in the comments. Do check back next week, 7 p.m. Of course, your regular slot here for Thursday night Pint, and do come and join us for Red Men Uncensored over on Plus as well. Should be a good laugh. Big thank you to our guests. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And of course to Chris and Chloe, who have to do this contractually with me every week.
I won't be getting a tattoo. I'm telling you that now.
I'm just saying, Chloe. Do you know what I mean? It's part, if it happens.
Get it on your hand.
Yeah, we'll shorten it to Borough.
Yeah. Right, thank you so much. That is Thursday Night Pint. Hope to see you back here at 7 p.m. next week. Up the Reds.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that show. I'm sure you did. If you want even more amazing Red Men content in your ears or in your eyes, come and join us over on redmenplus.com. We've got absolutely amazing interviews, features, documentaries, and even more of the shows like you've just watched. So yeah, head on over to redmenplus.com and become a Red Men Plus club captain or club legend. I promise you won't regret it.